Good morning, boys and girls. I hope everybody's well. Welcome to week 22 of our art class. I'm happy to see you again. And I just wanted to start off by saying that I need everybody to remember that our classroom is really your home and my home. So in your classroom, I need you to please go find a nice quiet spot where you can work, somewhere where you can be respectful of others around you and what they're doing, right? So we're not gonna yell and scream and run around. We need to settle down, focus, have our materials ready, and then be quiet and calm. Take a deep breath. Exhale, right? We're trying to relax. Creating artwork is a very relaxing and enjoyable thing, right? And that helps us. It helps our mind and it helps our bodies. And so what I want you to do is to be calm. I'm pointing here. Listen. Work to the best of your ability, right? And then all of these things are going to help you to get in a positive mindset or a positive headspace. And that means to be positive, to not think of things in a negative or bad way. And we all do that. I do that too. And we have to kind of snap ourselves out of it. And we do it like this. We say, it's good enough. That's good enough. I don't have to bother. Is it really? Is it good enough? No. Is this my best work? That's what you should always ask yourself. If you look at your artwork and you say, that's all right. But what would Miss Petrelli say? She would say, I know, she would say, too many white spaces, not coloring in one direction. So go back. If you already know that, that's showing me that you know that isn't your best work. So go back. Make it your best work. You always want to show your best and do your best so that you can be proud of what you do and what you make. And that way others can be too, right? So we're working on the Sustainability STEAM Challenge. And that drawing is focusing on two forms of air pollution. Two forms of pollution. One of them is air pollution, and the other one is land pollution. So in last week's videos, we were just, class time, we were meeting and talking about ways that we can make a difference, that small things that each one of us can do can add up to something really big and something great. And that's what we're trying to do with this drawing, is to educate, draw something that will teach people all of the ways that they can help in their environment, in their community, to make pollution less. Each year, if we reduce the pollution a little by little by little, then our earth and us as well, we would be healthier and happier and last longer, right? So this is what we came up with last week. We came up with some drawings of various things, different elements. And I told you, you never have to copy what I do. I don't want you to copy what I do because my artwork is my artwork. I want your artwork to be yours. But we are always inspired by other artists. And we always take ideas from another artist and then we change them, right? We transform them into making them into our own idea. So I was just showing you how to draw a person in large in the foreground. Then we used our prior knowledge of creating space in a landscape, and then we added our horizon line. We added an S path if you wanted to show that you were in a park. Some of these are very similar, but then there are some different elements. And then if you want to take one element from one of these pieces and add them with your own, as you have already done so, then please do. The purpose of this is actually to show people the ways that they can help. And so what I want you to do for this week and this lesson is go back to your drawing. So I'm going to choose this one. You obviously don't have to choose the same one, and you have a different one because we're all individuals, right? We are all different, and that's what makes us special, right? So what I'm gonna do today is I have already traced all my lines in this black marker. You can choose to outline or trace your pencil marks, your lines in marker, or you don't have to. That is your personal choice, okay? But I have already done that, and now I have trace and erase. I'm just gonna remind you. I took my marker and I traced. I traced everywhere that I wanted to trace and add my lines and hide my pencil. But there were other parts of my drawing that I didn't want to show. So I'm just going to show you right here up close. I have the top of my oval here for their heads. And I have a few other areas up here, this line up here. I left those there. Trace what you want to keep and then erase what you don't want. That's the easiest, fastest way. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to erase all of the pencil marks that are still left on the paper that I can see. I want to erase them just because I want my piece to look its best and look neat, and I don't want those lines to show and look like I made a mistake or they were accidental. I want everything that I do to be purposeful and to have meaning, right? I don't just want random lines there for no reason. So there, I traced and I erased, okay? All right, and now that I've done that, I'm going to start to add color. No, I take that back. I want to add one more thing. So I'm actually going to do it in marker. You can add your details in pencil first, but I just realized they have garbage bags and they are holding trash, but they have no can. And in this drawing, I made a garbage can so that they can put the trash in. So I'm gonna add that. Now, here in the foreground of our piece, we make everything large so that it appears to come out at us. Then as we move up the paper, we hit the middle ground. And then the background is the furthest thing away from us, right? So things appear smaller. So I'm going to take this opportunity right here, this empty space, and I'm going to draw a garbage can. Now, am I going to draw it as tall as these boys and girls? No, of course not. It's in the middle ground, so I have to make it a little smaller. If you remember our capital letter Y's from our trees in a previous lesson, we had capital Y's that were large, capital Y's that were medium size, and by the horizon line, capital letter Y's that were very small in size. And that variety of size helps to create the illusion of space. Moving further back into the space, creating depth of field. So those Y's we transformed into trees. And maybe I'm gonna put one over here. Maybe I'll put some over here. So I'm gonna add still some more details. I'm going to make a number 11. Then I'm going to connect the bottom of those ones or the number 11 or these two vertical lines with a curved line. I'm going to connect the top with a curved line. And then I'm going to close this up with another curved line going in the opposite direction, creating an oval at the top. So I'm going to actually pull you a little closer. Hi. Okay. And that is now looking like a three-dimensional garbage can. It's not 3D, but we're making it look like it's 3D by showing these curved lines. So now I have some trash can availability here where they can put the trash in the right receptacle, whether it's for recycling or just regular trash, but I wanted to include that. And then maybe I can show another biomorphic shape here next to it so that it looks like another garbage bag, right? I'm just adding a few little details to help add more information to our piece. And you know what? I think I also like having this tree here. And this oval here and these vertical and diagonal lines indicate that this tree is a newly planted like baby tree and that's trying to keep it upright. So I'm going to include that here. Why not? Do you have to do that? No, you absolutely do not. But I am going to include it. So here's my tree. And I'm going to make it, I'll make it go in there. Even though I have my horizon line in the way, but that's because I didn't use pencil to start. Okay, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm also going to put these stakes here, and an oval around, and like that, and like that. Okay, so that's my little baby tree. Maybe, do I need a sun? No, if I want to add more details, if I want to put windows in here, I mean, add all of your details, whatever they might be, okay? Put them in and then begin coloring. That's what we're going to do. All right, maybe this one has vertical windows that are really super tall and long. Do you have to do that? No. But I like adding details because then it gives people more information, right? This is not just a box in the background. It's actually a place where lots and lots and lots of people work, right? Those factories. Okay, so now I'm ready to start coloring. And I'm going to take my time and I'm going to do the best that I can do. Yeah, I think that's positive piece. So all I want you to do now, boys and girls, is I need you to start to add color and remember that if you color in one direction, your piece will look more polished. So I'm just coloring. Even though I'm coloring quickly, I am still being careful and taking my time. I'm using this other finger to keep me from going out of the area that I'm in. And if you take this opportunity to color with me, by the time the video is done, you will be almost finished. So now I color carefully around, around, around. I'm gonna fill this with crayon later. And boys and girls, you can use whatever materials you have available to you. Now, since I'm coloring this in marker, I can see all of my marker lines, but I did that on purpose. I'm gonna show you why. I'm trying to add a visual texture. I want it to look like the blades of grass are growing vertically, right? So I am coloring up and down, and I'm doing it in a way that my marker stops coloring where my hand stops, like this. Watch, I'll do it again. I'm going to color my grass, but my hand only goes so far, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So then I start over and I do another section on top, and now the marker ink has overlapped. And this effect of overlapping allows you to create that kind of a visual texture, right? Of having freshly cut grass, right, at the park. I want that to show. If I didn't want that to show, I could just color in a crayon, right? If I color in crayon, then it's all smooth. Then it looks all smooth with no visual texture. It kind of blends together. But as we know from being artists for a very long time, marker doesn't blend. It doesn't blend very well. Sometimes it doesn't blend at all. But if I color the grass in crayon, it doesn't really give you the same visual texture. A little tiny bit, but not as visible. So I'm gonna leave the crayon grass this hue of green, which means this color of green, and then I'm gonna go back to my marker and I'm going to finish this part of the park. And I color right over this string or this rope that's holding it up. And I'm taking my time, boys and girls. And I really appreciate all of the artwork that was sent to me. It was beautiful. I had people who had hearts coming out of the pipes of the factories. I had people who also made rainbows. I had people who made it raining. Some artists had really, really great ideas to show many people at the park. Some were roller skating and riding scooters. And one artist put his whole entire family collecting trash at the park. And I thought that was really a great way for him to show that his whole family participates in helping our environment. So I am really proud of you, boys and girls. I'm really super proud of you. If one person does something, it causes other people to notice, and then maybe those people will do it as well, right? That's why we always have to make sure that we choose to do the right thing. So there's my grass, and I think I'm gonna add maybe one more dark area back here. Or it could be dirt. It could be whatever you want it to be, right? Maybe it's a parking garage. I don't know. But all I know, what I do know, is that I am doing my very best. And so should you, right? Always. And if you wanted to make your piece more interesting, at this point, I have added about as much detail as I can in my drawing. And now it's time for me to add some texture, right? So we can always add some visual texture, and that even gives everyone more information. So if you were going to make this like another artist did, she made bricks. She showed that this path was not a dirt path, but it was made with bricks. So I'm taking a broken crayon. I'm going to rub a little bit of brown, and I'm going to also mix a little bit of red, because there are bricks that are red and brown and gray. Bricks come in many, many, many colors. So I am going to give some more information to our viewer and let them know that this is a brick path. And I can do that by just taking some red and putting a layer of red on top, mixing it with the brown, and then I can go back in and I can make my lines, my vertical and horizontal lines showing bricks. Now, do you have to make bricks? No, of course you don't have to make bricks, but you can if you want to. So I'm putting that there. Don't forget, you can make anything more exciting by just adding a pattern. Or, I mean, if this person, if I wanted to give her a shirt that had stripes I could do that, right? Now that looks a little more interesting. Now maybe this is the same blue or teal color as his pants, right? All right, it's starting to look like something. I'm going back to my bricks. I didn't forget about those. Maybe I'm going to take a red marker. Maybe I'm going to make some horizontal lines all the way across my bricks. I mean, across my path, creating bricks. Or creating the illusion of bricks, right? Because these are not real bricks, but we're trying to trick the viewer into believing that these bricks are real. Okay, so there is our path. But now, in order to make it look like brick, we need to put some vertical lines in. Remember? Vertical, horizontal, diagonal, karate chop. Okay, so I'm gonna put a few vertical lines here and there. It's like if you do a number 11. Let me show you this. If you put a bunch of horizontal lines like this to start off your brick pattern, then you do this. Start at the top, put a number 11. Another whatever line. Now jump to this one and you're going to alternate. You're going to make your 11 in between. So in between this box now, I'm gonna put another line there so that your lines are constantly in between the two other lines, okay? And that is how you create that look of bricks. So I'm gonna do that here really fast. And then I just wanted to tell you that I'm super proud of you because your artist skills are wonderful. And you have learned so much this year and throughout the years that I really enjoy when I see you adding things, adding elements, right? The elements of art. When you add these line, shape, color, value, form, space, and texture into your pieces from previous pieces, from old artwork, right? That artwork, you were learning a specific concept, right? Something in particular. And then when I see you bring it into your next piece, that shows me that you have learned how to use that tool, right? The artist tools. So I could make the sunset colors that you guys showed me in your landscapes the other time, right? So if I wanted to make this sky, instead of doing a rainbow, maybe I want to color my sky here purple, like underneath the smoke. Maybe it is time for dinner almost and the sun is setting. And I don't have to see the sun over here. Maybe the sun is over here somewhere in our picture. But I wanted to add some color into the sky to make it look a little bit happier. So even though the factories are still producing all of that nasty chemical-y smoke, these people are trying to make that environment better. And it's not gonna happen overnight, but we can do it working together, right? So that is it. That is what I need you to do for this week, boys and girls. I need you to really take your time, please. Do the best work that you are capable of doing. And that way you can always be proud of your work. And by the way, when I receive this at the end of the week and it's done in color, then we are going to select specific artists, those boys and girls who have done their very, very best. We are going to have them submitted, and a group of teachers and myself, we're going to pick who is going to move on to the next portion of the competition. So I appreciate that everybody's participating, but we cannot have everybody win because that's just not the way it happens. although it would be nice, but only those that are completely done will be able to be part of that selection process. So please, don't leave white spaces, color your whole piece, be proud of what you do, take time to include your own ideas and your own ways to help in your piece, okay? By drawing them out in pencil first and then tracing and then adding color and then adding some visual texture, okay? So I'm really excited. I'm so happy that you joined me, and I can't wait to see what kind of artwork comes into us so that hopefully PS3 can win. Yay! Okay? Thank you very much. Have a great week, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.